Let's face it, being a Sigma male is like being the rarest coffee in the world. Everyone wants a taste, but not everyone knows how to brew it right. You're not the guy chasing attention or trying to fit in, and that drives people crazy. They want to figure you out, but you're not some open book waiting to be read. Instead, you're the one quietly observing while others are busy showing off, and that's what makes you stand out. The thing is, you're not for everyone, and that's your strength. You're like Wi-Fi with a killer password. People are desperate to connect, but not many have the key. Some might try to get close, but your standards are higher than their expectations. And honestly, that's how you like it. You're rare because you don't settle for just anyone, and the few who get that about you, they're the ones who matter. Everyone else? Well, they can keep guessing.
Number 1. You leave before you're asked to stay. You're the type who doesn't stick around waiting for approval or permission to belong. While most people cling, hoping to be invited to stay, you've already made up your mind. By the time someone realizes your worth, you're already out the door. This isn't about arrogance. It's about knowing your own value and refusing to beg for a spot in anyone's life. You don't need constant reassurance or a place to fit in, and that emotional independence is rare. It's also intimidating. Your ability to walk away is a quiet strength that many can't understand. They linger, hoping for validation, trying to fit into someone else's life, but you're not interested in playing those games. You've mastered the art of leaving when it feels right for you, not when someone finally sees your worth. It's not that you don't care about people. It's just that you don't need their approval to define your path. You let go easily because you trust that what's meant for you won't require you to stay when your instincts tell you to go. This way of living creates a natural filter. Only the people who are truly aligned with your values and pace will remain in your life. The rest fall away, not because they're unworthy, but because they simply can't keep up. You move forward without looking back, and in doing so, you show others that belonging starts from within, not from someone else's invitation. In the end, being a Sigma male means you're not here to please everyone, and that's exactly what sets you apart. People are drawn to you, fascinated by your independence, depth, and refusal to play by the usual rules. But not everyone can handle that. Your confidence, your silence, and your ability to move through life on your own terms make you the rarest man in the room. You're not interested in fitting into anyone's box or meeting anyone's expectations, and that makes you impossible to replicate. People may try to figure you out, control you, or define you, but they'll only find themselves frustrated. You've mastered the art of living for yourself, and those who can keep up will appreciate you for who you are, while the rest will simply fade away. Not being for everyone isn't a weakness, it's your greatest strength. It keeps your circle small, your connections real, and your path clear. That's why, no matter how much they want you, only a few will truly understand you, and even fewer will be worthy of standing by your side. Number 2. Indifference is your superpower. The Sigma male's indifference is a game changer. It's not that you don't care, it's that you care about the things that actually matter. You're not chasing trends. You're not concerned about fitting in, and you're definitely not losing sleep over shallow opinions. While everyone else is busy seeking validation, you've mastered the art of detachment, and that's what gives you power. People often mistake your calm for disinterest, but here's the truth. You're just careful with where you put your energy. You don't waste time on pointless drama or trying to impress people who won't matter tomorrow. The beauty of this indifference is that it makes you impossible to manipulate. Others get tangled in the web of wanting approval, but you're completely at ease with being overlooked if it means you stay true to yourself. While the world is busy screaming for attention, you quietly navigate life, making moves that align with your values, not with what's popular. And here's the funny part. Your indifference is exactly what makes people intrigued. They can't figure you out, and that drives them crazy. You don't play their games, and in doing so, you become the one holding all the cards. It's not that you're hard to reach, it's that not everyone deserves your time. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect, and it's why you stand apart in a world obsessed with attention.
Number 3, you reject the game, and that's what makes you irresistible. Most people are used to men following the same old script, chasing attention, proving themselves, bending over backward to impress. But you don't waste your time with that. You've never been interested in playing those games, and that's exactly what makes you irresistible. While others are busy trying to one-up each other or get noticed, you're completely comfortable doing your own thing, and that throws people off in the best way possible. You're not chasing validation because you don't need it. You know your worth, and you're not about to let anyone dictate how you should act. That confidence and refusal to follow the crowd is what leaves people intrigued. They're used to men who are predictable, easy to read, and eager to please. But you're none of those things. You're a mystery, and they can't quite figure out how to win you over. The funny thing is, the more you don't play by the rules, the more they want your attention. It's like trying to solve a puzzle that doesn't have all the pieces. They're drawn to you because you don't give in to the usual expectations. You stay true to who you are, and that kind of authenticity is hard to find. In a world where most people are performing for the crowd, you're the one who stands out by not performing at all. And that's why they can't stop wondering about you. Number 4, people are drawn to your depth, but few can handle it. At first glance, you might come across as mysterious, someone people can't quite figure out. But once they scratch the surface, they quickly realize you're more than just hard to read. You're deep. Your thoughts go beyond the everyday, and your conversations are never about fluff. You think about things most people skim over, and that can be a lot for some to handle. It's not that you're trying to be difficult or distant. You're just wired to think deeply, to question, to look for meaning in everything. When others are chatting about trivial things, your mind is somewhere else, diving into philosophy, life's bigger questions, or ideas that actually matter. It's not that you don't enjoy company, but few people can really connect with you on that level, and that's where the problem starts. People are drawn to you because of this depth, but not everyone is equipped to handle it. They want the real you, but when they get close, it becomes clear that you're not just here for small talk or shallow connections. Some might find it intimidating, others might feel challenged, but it's not on you to lower your standards. It's about whether they can rise to meet you. You're not hiding who you are. You just naturally operate on a different wavelength. And while that makes you rare, it also means not everyone gets to stick around. Those who do, they're the ones worth your time. Number 5, your silence speaks louder than their noise. In a world where everyone's talking, tweeting, or posting, your silence stands out in the loudest way possible. Most people can't handle quiet. They're addicted to noise, drama, and constant stimulation. They fill their days with endless chatter, always needing to say something, anything, just to feel seen or heard. But you don't feel that need. You've mastered the power of silence, and that in itself makes people take notice. Your calm, collected demeanor isn't just a choice, it's a statement. While others are busy scrambling to make noise, you're choosing to be deliberate with your words, or sometimes not saying anything at all. And that's silence. It's unnerving to those who live for attention. They're used to people competing to get a word in, to be louder, to be noticed. But you create a different kind of energy, one that makes them stop in their tracks and question why you're not playing along. People don't know what to do when someone isn't trying to outshout them. Your quiet confidence makes them wonder what you're thinking, and that mystery is magnetic. They can't figure you out because you don't give away your thoughts with endless talk. Instead, you keep them guessing, and that drives them a little crazy. While they're busy making noise, your silence holds the real power. It speaks volumes about your control, your confidence, and your ability to stand apart from the chaos without even trying. Number 6, people want access to you because you make them question their own mediocrity. People want to be around you, not just because you're different, but because you unintentionally make them question their own choices. It's like your very presence holds up a mirror to their mediocrity, forcing them to see how much they've settled in life. You don't have to say a word. Just being yourself, focused, driven, and unwilling to accept less than you deserve, makes them realize what they've been ignoring. They see how comfortable they've become in their routine, in their lack of ambition, and it stings. Being around you brings that into sharp focus. You don't settle, and that makes them wonder why they have. They want access to your energy because it feels different. It's refreshing, but also intimidating. It's like they're drawn to you, hoping that maybe some of your intensity, your refusal to be average, might rub off on them. But here's the thing. They struggle to keep up. They crave that proximity because deep down they know they could be doing more, aiming higher. But being around you also means facing their own excuses, their own fears. You force them to confront how much they've let slide, and not everyone's ready for that. Some people try to stick around thinking they can handle the pace you set, but they quickly realize it's not for the faint of heart. You don't settle, and that's a hard truth for those who've been playing it safe for too long. Number 7. They want to box you in, but you have no label. In a world obsessed with labels, you stand out as a beautifully chaotic enigma. Society loves to categorize people, neatly placing them into boxes with specific tags like introvert, extrovert, or ambitious. But you refuse to conform to any of those definitions. You are a complex mix of traits and experiences that can't be easily labeled or understood, and that makes you a source of intrigue and frustration for others. When people encounter you, they instinctively try to categorize you, hoping to make sense of the whirlwind that is your personality. They want to know how to interact with you, where to place you in their mental filing cabinet. But the harder they try, the more elusive you become. Your refusal to fit neatly into their preconceived notions leaves them scratching their heads. It's unsettling for them, almost like trying to catch smoke with their bare hands. This defiance creates a magnetic aura around you. People are drawn to your mystery, even if they can't quite grasp what makes you tick. You challenge their assumptions, forcing them to confront the limitations of their own thinking. In a society that often values conformity over individuality, your label-free existence becomes a breath of fresh air. You embody the idea that true identity is far too complex to be reduced to a simple tag, and that realization is both liberating and terrifying for those who meet you. Number 8. You embody freedom, and that's terrifying to some. You exude a kind of freedom that many people only dream of, and that's both magnetic and terrifying. You don't just exist, you thrive on your own terms, living life in a way that defies society's rigid expectations. While others conform, worrying about fitting in or following the latest trends, you blaze your own trail. This independence is more than a personality trait. It's woven into your very existence, and it makes you stand out in a world that often values conformity over individuality. For those trapped in their routines, your lifestyle is a baffling puzzle. They see you moving through life without the weight of social pressures, and it leaves them curious and a bit envious. You have the courage to break free from the mold, and that challenges their comfort zones. They want to be near you, hoping to soak up some of your liberating energy. But at the same time, they're terrified of what that might mean for their own lives. You're a living reminder of everything they're missing, and facing that truth can be uncomfortable. You represent a choice they don't know how to make. While they cling to their predictable paths, you offer a glimpse of what it means to truly live, to be unshackled and unapologetically yourself. It's a paradox. They want the freedom you embody, but the thought of stepping outside their own constraints is daunting. You challenge them to reflect on their choices, and that's a lot for anyone to handle. Number 9, you're a mirror, and it terrifies them. When people are around you, they often feel a bit uncomfortable, but not because you're doing anything to make them uneasy. It's because, without even trying, you become a mirror for them. Your self-sufficiency, the way you move through life without needing constant approval or attention, forces them to confront parts of themselves they'd rather not see. You don't seek validation from others, and that makes them realize just how much they rely on it. It's not something you do on purpose, it just happens. Your clarity, your sense of who you are, stands in stark contrast to the way many people live their lives, always seeking reassurance from the outside world. Being around someone who doesn't need that can be unsettling. They start to see the cracks in their own foundation, realizing that their confidence is often tied to what others think of them. And that reflection, it can be painful. People might not be able to put their finger on why they feel this way around you, but deep down, It's because you highlight something they don't want to face, their own insecurity. While you're steady, self-reliant, and sure of yourself, they're left questioning whether they've been chasing the wrong things all along. It terrifies them because you make them see that the strength they admire in you isn't something that can be faked or bought. It's built from within. And for those who aren't there yet, that truth can be hard to swallow. Number 10. They want your confidence, but they don't want your struggles. People see your confidence and admire it, even envy it, but they don't realize what it took for you to get there. They look at the surface, your calm, your self-assurance, the way you seem to handle everything with ease, and think that it came naturally to you. What they don't see are the struggles, the setbacks, and the pain that built that confidence. Your resilience wasn't handed to you on a silver platter. It was forged through tough times, lonely moments, and countless battles that you had to face on your own. Everyone wants the final product, that cool confidence you carry, but no one's lining up to experience the journey that shaped you. They don't want to go through the same trials, the nights where you questioned everything, or the moments where it felt like the world was against you. They just want the reward without understanding the cost. But you know better. You've lived it. It's easy for people to admire strength from a distance, but they rarely understand that strength is the result of struggle. They see the polished version of you, but you know that every bit of confidence you have today came with a price. And while they might wish they could have that same confidence, they're not ready to walk the path you did. That's what makes your confidence unshakable, because you earned it the hard way and you know that nothing and no one can take it from you. Number 11. They want to own you, but they can't even understand you. People always seem to want what they can't fully grasp. When it comes to you, that's exactly the case. They want to pin you down, figure you out, and even own a piece of what makes you so different. But here's the catch. They can't. You operate on a level they just don't understand. It's not that you're trying to be difficult or elusive, it's just that their usual tricks don't work on you. The more they try to control or define you, the more frustrated they get, because you can't be boxed in or limited to anyone else's expectations. The funny thing is, the harder they try to make sense of you, the more lost they become. It's like chasing a shadow. Every time they think they've caught up, you're already a step ahead. Meanwhile, you're completely unbothered. While they're trying to dissect you and fit you into their idea of what you should be, you're simply continuing to do your own thing, untouched by their attempts to control you. It's not that you're intentionally pushing people away, but you refuse to let anyone own or define you. That independence, that ability to stay true to yourself no matter what, leaves people puzzled and, frankly, a bit obsessed. They can't understand you, but they can't stop wanting to. And in the end, it's their own need to control that trips them up, while you remain exactly as you are, free. Number 12. You don't compete, you create. While most guys are busy trying to outdo each other, you're off doing your own thing, not even paying attention to the so-called competition. Why? Because competing with others is a waste of your time. You've got bigger things to focus on, like pushing yourself to the next level. Instead of looking at what others are doing, you're creating your own path, setting your own standards, and breaking out of the rat race altogether. People often wonder how you're so unbothered by what's happening around you. And the truth is, you've realized something they haven't. You can't win a game you didn't sign up to play. While they're stuck comparing themselves and chasing the same goals, you're out here redefining what success means to you. That's why no one can really figure you out, let alone replicate what you do. You're not following the usual blueprint. You're building your own. The best part? You're so focused on your personal growth that you don't even notice when people try to compete with you. They're running in circles, and you're miles ahead. Not because you're trying to be, but because you're too busy improving yourself to look back. You've already realized that the only real competition is the person in the mirror, and that mindset, it sets you apart from the rest in a way that's impossible to copy. Number 13. You're the calm in the storm. When everything is falling apart, you're the guy who stays cool as a cucumber. While others are losing their heads, running around in a panic, you're steady, calm, and in control. It's not because you don't see the chaos, it's because you don't let it get to you. You've learned to master your emotions, and that gives you a kind of quiet power that doesn't need to shout to be noticed. People may not always realize it, but your calm presence is what keeps everything from completely going off the rails. You don't have to be the loudest voice in the room or the one barking orders to get attention. Instead, your calm confidence does all the talking. It reassures people around you without you even needing to say much. And let's be honest, there's something incredibly rare about a man who can stay unbothered when everything's going sideways. It's not that you enjoy chaos, but you thrive in it because you've found peace within yourself. That inner peace is like an anchor, keeping you grounded no matter what storms are swirling around you. While others are caught up in reacting, you're already thinking 3 steps ahead. People might not understand how you do it, but they know they can count on you when things get tough. And in a world full of noise and panic, that quiet control makes you stand out, whether you're looking for attention or not.